So, what you're about to see on screen right now is a picture of Miami police officer Daniel Ubeda. And what's wrong with this picture, clearly, is that he's in uniform, wearing a Trump 2020 No More BS mask inside a polling station in the Miami area. And for a whole variety of reasons, this is both against policy, it's likely against the law, and it's certainly immoral and a danger to democracy. Because whether intentional or not, subconscious or not, this is a form of voter suppression. It's a voter intimidation because this is a police officer in a polling place in uniform with all the tools of being a police officer, making an open political statement basically right where people are about or have just casted their vote. A solemn secret process. If you want to keep your vote secret, that is a solemn universal right within the United States. And if you come from a community, individually or collectively, that has been mistreated by the police, and there are many communities like that all over the country based on income and race, origin, location, what have you, and you see a police officer in the polling station just hanging out, they're not called there for a specific reason, that alone might discourage you from going in to cast your vote because you feel that I'm going to be profiled or targeted just trying to exercise my democratic right. But when you add the fact that they're taking a political statement, maybe one you disagree with, especially if you disagree with it, but not even just because of that, you're going to feel that this is a partisan thing. It's not just a police officer exerting their power, it's them doing it towards an ideological and partisan end. And that is very dangerous. Again, even if he didn't mean to, that's what that means. And if even one person was discouraged from voting because they saw him do that today, it's unacceptable and it's a travesty, right? 100%. And again, it's the perception matters just as much as the reality here. The police already have this image from a lot of people that they're lockstep with Donald Trump. Trump likes to say it, that the police all support me, that the police are behind me 100%. That Democratic mayors and governors and congressmen and senators hate the police and they want to stand with those against law and order. And so if you're a Democratic voter, you might already have this perception of the police, which is maybe more black and white than the actual situation. But you have Daniel Ubeda in a Miami police uniform wearing a Trump mask at a polling station, or certainly within the vicinity of one. And now you start to say, hey, maybe they're right. Maybe all the police are politically against me, and I don't feel safe casting my vote around one of them. Maybe I won't do it at all or today. It's unacceptable. Now, we don't know if he was on duty, if he was there in his capacity as a police officer. Maybe he had just finished a shift or was about to start one. But when he's in his capacity as a police officer, just by the tools of authority he's wearing, his arm, but also his uniform, his badge, it's unacceptable to be associating that with a political statement. Now, to the city's credit, and the mayor has also responded, they've basically said, we are aware of the photograph circulated of a Miami police officer wearing a political mask and uniform. This behavior is unacceptable, a violation of departmental policy, and is being addressed immediately. The mayor basically responded similarly, saying, there's going to be discipline here. I've spoken with the police chief about it. We both agree it's unacceptable. So it's good to see a very quick, emphatic response. But I think at the very least, you need to see an apology from Ubeda for recognizing that what he did was wrong, even if unintentional, even if it wasn't his goal to do this, and, explain to people how he doesn't allow this to happen. But if he refuses to do that, or if this was seen as something more intentional, then there needs to be more severe discipline up to and including his termination. Because frankly, what he did was tear a little piece of democracy down today by doing what he did, especially if it was intentional. If you see this happen, call it out. Call it out to the media, to your friends, to local officials, state officials, wherever you are. Don't let the police, intentional or unintentional, allow themselves to make direct partisan remarks and to intimidate you at the polling stations.